Hello and thanks for staying with us. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service speaks on the death of some people in Katsina. Also on Customs Report, the acting ACG in charge of headquarters speaks on the activities of his office. Plus more report. I am Igeseme Etinye. Stay tuned. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service continued to brief members of the National Assembly in Abuja on happenings around the Nigerian Customs Service. He told the members that the service is always prepared to implement government policies without delay.
2019. The breakdown, of course, is as depicted on that page. The actual budgeted sum was for customs. This was 603, whereas the actual correction was 693 billion. And then, of course, excise, because of the limited number of excise companies, it was 78 billion. And then we were able to collect 92.7 billion. So the total summary, Mr. Chairman, in order not to waste time, is 1.341 trillion for the year 2019.
CG, when did you close the border? When? Which year?
We effected the closure of border in 2019.
2019.
Yeah. We have a consistent collection of revenue, but sometimes because of the percentage of payment, it goes a little bit higher. But nothing has changed from tobacco and alcoholic beverages. We are still on that up to this moment.
Non-federal.
We collected less. We collected less revenue. So that's the simple analysis. That it is a spillover of the import. The most import requisition are always made in advance, and of course, once once they open the reduction in terms of lockdown came over, a lot of people were in rush to bring in their goods and be able to exploit the market space, and therefore we experienced the backlog of the 2019 plus the 2020, and that's amounted to why we realized this much of revenue. We are sincere to ourselves. I think this government, when it came to power, one of its cardinal objectives is to fight corruption, because it has become endemic in our system. It's not only custom, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So we in the custom, we realize that. And that's why I had earlier said that we are leveraging on technology to be able to separate the contact, the usual contact between person to person. Because when you separate that, then chances of compromise is reduced to the barest minimum. And that's why we involve this e-custom, which is going to be an end-to-end technology. At the end of the day, honorable member, you can use your handset here, right here, to be able to do your transaction with regards to custom. You will know how much, if you import a car, and you will know how much you're supposed to pay, from the duty to levy to everything. And then you can effect your payment online, and then you now get an agent who will go and collect it. Today, what is happening is that when you get an agent, he will do the calculation for you and give you the correct remuneration, figure. But when you give him the money, because they are clever enough to say, pay the money into my own account. It is me who will now pay to custom. And once you do that, he goes and changes the papers. He changes the papers and gives you and says, if your car is 2021 or 2020, he reduces it to 2017. And then, of course, they compromise with some bad elements within the custom and clear those cars on those bases. And then they exit it. And that's why sometimes people get embarrassed when you are stopped on the highway by federal operations and you are asked to produce your paper. And you produce the paper. And when they now check the VIN number of the car, they will discover that the particulars of that car is for 2020, not 2017. And then you are asked to pay a GL. And then people begin to say, how can it happen? But that's exactly what is happening. That's exactly what is happening.
But so, you know that there are analytics that you can do that can detect those that process?
No, I'm telling you, Mr.
Honorable colleague,
that we are doing the
CG,
yes, sir.
we will avail you the professional.
In Benin Republic, and part of this is that we are paying their allowances, including their own children's school fees, while they're out there. And so that's what is reflected.
Okay, the attachment, when you send your staff out,
yes, we have
an
attachment.
Yes,
How
many years is the minimum?
Well, normally the first 3 years and then another 3 years. It can be renewed for another 3 years.
And so when they go, you also ask them to move their children along.
Normally they move all their families along.
And the government pay for their children.
The government takes care of their children.
And also pay their salaries.
They pay their salaries and their allowances to government. By the sum total of this is what we are, if we add all the collectibles, Chairman, we are expecting in 2022 1.33 1.33 trillion. That's what we are projecting.
Why? Why are you going down from 2021?
Well, we are always hopeful that things will improve. But like I said, Mr. Chairman, import is a fluctuation, it's a fluctuating process. And we do not have any constant measurement of what will happen. So we take the average of what we collected in the previous year and compute it, and then come up with a figure that is realizable. Whatever comes thereafter, it is our hope that we will surpass by far what we have collected. But we are always trying to be as realistic as we can in our proposals.
The acting Assistant Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has said that his unit is always ready to implement program approved by the CG of Customs. So the program has helped the customs to generate huge revenue for the government.
To Nigerians, for example, if you take the air wing unit of the service, we have a number of aircrafts, such as helicopters, that we do aerial patrol and gather intelligence around the country. 2, the anti-money laundering unit, you find members of that unit or officers of that unit deployed to all international airports and major entry and exit points. The main function of that unit is to monitor, register currencies going in and out, and render such reports on weekly basis to the office of the ACG headquarters. The printing unit, the unit is responsible for printing of all our files, documents, and any other publication of the service, such as files like this, This is equally a product of the printing unit, and with this, the service was able to save a lot of money. Imagine we are giving this thing out as contract to other printing press to print for us. We'll have to pay a lot of money. But we are doing this in-house, and it's equally assisting the service. Then the public relations unit. This unit is responsible for managing our information and other public relations issues between the service, the other medias outside. And under that unit, we have Nigerian Customs Broadcasting Network, we have a television station, we have radio station, and they are all digital. You can tune to the radio on the net. You can equally get it on FM. Then the television, you see most of our activities. This one is being coordinated by the PR unit.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Assistant Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service and also the Commandant of Customs Training School in Abuja have been speaking on the activities of the school. The Commandant says that a lot of officers have been trained in the college, including foreigners.
If I take it from the basics, the college was designated or has been designated as a regional training center for West and Central African region of the World Customs Organization. So when it was commissioned in 2011, the Secretary General of the World Customs Organization, Kunio Mukuria, when he was actually impressed with the structures that he saw, he requested then that this should serve as a regional training center at the college. And the request was granted immediately by the CG then, late Diko Abdullahi, and the college has functioned then as a regional training center. So we've hosted several regional programs, regional training programs, organized by the World Customs Organization, organized by other international bodies like the UN, AU, ECOWAS, GIZ. So this has actually gone beyond Nigeria. We have a center that is devoted solemnly to that. And beyond the region, I remember that in 2019, the chairperson of the World Customs Organization, who was then the head of Customs Administration of Uganda, paid a visit, to Nigeria, and essentially, he came to the college to interact with the officers and directing staff after delivering a lecture on modern customs administrations and things like that. And because of the kind of this relationship, our African study tour in the college, which we do annually, we go to some African countries. Last year we were in Benin, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Kenya, and those 4 African countries. The year before we were in Ghana, Cameroon, Niger, and one other country. So through this study tour, we are also able to get contact, networking with our colleagues. We're learning from them. They are also learning from us. And we produce research work that we believe will be useful not only for the Customs Administration of Nigeria, but also for other customs administrations in Africa. The General of Customs has rightly identified capacity building as very, very crucial to the success of the reforms that is undertaking. And he has not minced words in expressing the fact that training, continuous training, would be a major priority. And I think this explains the kind of investment that he has ploughed into the area of training program. First, I talked about TRADOC, which is a command level. It's headed by an officer as high as the Deputy Controller General. And every year, this college has been in place since 2011, but it was not until it became CG that he pursued doggedly the commencement of command and staff courses. What we were doing before were short-term courses organized by the WCO and all these other agencies. So it was through his determination and the vision that he has for training and capacity building that we were able to start command and staff courses. And he approves the budget for training, cost allowance, all of that. These are things that we've never heard of in customs before. At the beginning of each year, he gives approval for it, and then training has been going on very, very smoothly. I recall that in 2020, despite all the problems associated with COVID, he still encouraged us that once we are able to put in place some safeguards, for COVID 2020, respect the protocols, we should not allow it to delay, to disrupt our programs. And he approved that, we should have some funds to implement and respect those COVID protocols and ensure that our trainings were not disrupted. In 2020, we had all our training programs. We had 3 junior courses and 1 senior course graduated in spite of all the restrictions associated with COVID. So I must say that in terms of training and capacity building, he has identified this as a priority, and his body language, his utterances, and the approvals that he gave showed very clearly that this is his priority area. And at the end of the day, this is how you are going to measure professionalism, commitment to training. And I'm happy that the visiting Director General of Customs Administration of Central African Republic alluded to this today, that, where he has visited, the 3 commands he visited, and the training college that he came to today, that he has seen that, the level of professionalism, the level of discipline can be traced to the kind of investment that the Controller General has made in the area of training. So we say a very big thank you to him, and we appreciate what he has done for us.
The acting Assistant Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service in charge of Zone B has been speaking on behalf of the CG of Customs regarding the killing in Katsina State. The ACG also paid a working visit to the district head alongside with his entourage.
Condolence for the Controller General of Customs, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali, retired, and his entire management on the unfortunate incident that occurred at Tijibia on Monday, 9 August 2021. When sadly deaths occurred and the others are being hospitalized. May Allah grant the departed soul a Jannah Firdausi. Amen. On this condolence visit, we have a delegation led by my humble self to commiserate with the government and good people of Katsina State on this sordid event, while praying that we will not experience such unforeseen operational hazard that could lead to such an eventuality in the future. As a responsible government agency whose cardinal objective is the economic security of the nation, national food security agenda of the government, and the prevention of and infiltration of illegal goods, arms and ammunition, among others, we are not unmindful of our paramilitary responsibility, which is essentially the protection of lives and property, as well as the Nigerian economy with the vision of the CGC, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali. As part of the condolence visit, the CGC has mandated the team to interact with the host communities with the permission of the governor, its leaders, the bereaved family, and the victim of the accident, with a view to reporting back our findings.
At the palace, he told them about contraband items and approved items by government. The acting customs area controller in charge of Katsina State has continued to make seizure of contraband items in the northern axis of the country. The deputy controller also said his custom is ever ready to wage war on smugglers who refuse to obey the rules of the game.
Like I used to say, what is the essence of what you are having? Instead of going to the right path, now you go on the other side, smuggling, highly unpatriotic business, killing the country entirely. We now look at what we have arrested so far. It's now a loss to them. They will now go and source for another money, either through loans, through any other means, and they will go again, go through the same channel, and will still pursue them, and will still confiscate it, bring it down, minus to their side, until such a time when they don't have anything to go for it again. As a custom officer, the first impression, that is the first target, is to cripple you. That's why some of these times you see that the tires really are just right up, because the bullets that hit the vehicles. The issue is why? 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 For how long shall we be chasing you? You are moving, we are shooting you. What? Just come and do the right thing. We are ready for you. We are here at any time. Just come forward and do the right thing. And definitely we are here for you. We'll do all our best to see that as a channel for you to succeed. Because this is actually part of our responsibility. To sensitize the public, to let you know all about the government policies, government incentives, and what have you. We keep on preaching about all this ease of doing business. We keep on preaching about all this trade facilitation. Those who, the very few that try to comply with, they are better up. Can that one be an example? Therefore, this shows you that we are not relenting when the seizures are increasing. The expectation is the more we catch, the less we see. Well, it is the opposite. But we are not relenting, and as such, we are not getting discouraged. We are always, this is encouraging us to go ahead, to go further. That's why I promise you that until we checkmate them, until we put them at a full stop, we may not succeed in completely eradicating the smuggling activities, but we'll suppress it to the minimum level.
He urged smugglers to look for another source of business and leave smuggling activities alone. Intercepted goods worth billions of naira from smugglers. It speaks more on a number of issues.
So why not try to do the right thing? Come forward. We definitely will lead you to where you will succeed. Because there are so many ways, so many advantages. The government is trying to cushion the effects of your predicaments. Then, come and utilize it. Come forward, we explain to you, so that you go ahead and utilize it. The idea is, government is concerned about your welfare, your life entirely, because government is for protection of citizens, both life and properties. And now, creating more jobs through the right channel, pursuing your daily bread through the official, approved channel, you live in peace and you progress as well. Instead of pursuing this criminal way of trying to go against the country's rules and regulations, in which we pursue on daily basis, 24/7, we're on the road.
Just before round up this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where seizures worth millions of naira was intercepted by the Katsina State Command. For me, Igeseme Itige, thanks for watching.